Let's have a look at using the Sage 300 ERP snapshots. Snapshots are essentially graphical representations of the various key performance indicators for any given company. On this window you can see that there are a few snapshots that are available for viewing. For example, there's the Getting Started snapshot, the Aged Payables, Balance Sheet, and the Aged Receivable snapshot. There are other snapshots that are present as well. Let's have a look at the Aged Receivable snapshot. The Aged Receivable snapshot shows us the aging period for all of our outstanding documents. We can see that this snapshot shows us the receivables for 5 different aging periods. We can see the total amount that is outstanding, and for any of these periods we can also see the amount that is also outstanding. If we cursor over any of these bars, we can see the amount that is outstanding for any given period. So for example, for those documents that are between 1 to 30 days overdue, there's currently $3,600 that is currently outstanding in that period. You might notice that whenever I cursor over any of these bars, it turns into a hand indicating that it is a hyperlink. I can, for example, determine what those documents are that are outstanding between 31 and 60 days by simply clicking on that bar. When I click on that bar, a new report is going to get generated, and I'll be able to see that in the tab view up here. So again, I can see my Aged Receivables report appearing in a tabbed area. I can see the Aged Receivables report will appear as a new tab in this section. I can close the report by clicking on this button, and it takes me back to the snapshot area. It is possible for me to further configure the snapshot if I wanted to be able to determine how those documents are aged. If I wanted to be able to specify the type of documents that are to be included in this report, I can click on this box here, select Configure, and I can specify, for example, the aging date of the report. I can change the aging periods in this section here. If I click on Filters, I can determine what types of documents are to be included in the report. I can also apply filters. So for example, if I wanted to be able to first sort those documents based on a customer group and then based on customer number, what I can do is click on Select Filter and then select Customer Group. I can specify the appropriate comparison value as well as the range of those values that exist within that customer group. If I then wanted to add a filter for the customer numbers, I would select Add Filter. The filter would be customer number, and again I would choose the appropriate comparison value as well as the appropriate range for those customer numbers that I wish to see in the report. Once I'm done making those changes, I can click on Save. It is possible for me to change the way the snapshots are laid out. I can delete snapshots, I can minimize them, and I can also move them around. So for example, if I wanted to hide the Getting Started snapshot, I simply click on the X button up here, or the Close button up here, and the snapshot will be removed. Let's hide the income statement snapshot as well. Days Payable Outstanding, we'll hide that. We'll also hide the Days Receivable Outstanding. Let's also hide the Aged Payables. So there are now 2 snapshots present. If I wanted to move the snapshot, I simply grab any of the snapshots in this area and I can drag it over to the appropriate position. If I wanted to minimize snapshots, again I can simply click on the Minimize button and I can minimize the snapshots. You might find it easier to move the snapshots around when they're minimized. I can also add snapshots. To add a snapshot, I'm going to click on the Add Snapshots button, and I can add the appropriate snapshot. In the category field, I'll select the drop-down menu and then I'll select the appropriate category. Let's add another balance sheet snapshot. I'm going to click on General Ledger. I'm going to cursor over the balance sheet and I'm going to click on this plus symbol that appears in the upper right hand corner. The description of the snapshot is given, and to add the snapshot to the home page, I'm going to click on Add to Home Page. Finally, I'm going to click on Done. And I can see that a second balance sheet has now been added. It is possible for me to change the configuration of a specific snapshot. So for example, the snapshot on the right shows the balance sheet as at June 30th, 2020. If I wanted to compare 2 balance sheets graphically, I can change the date of a specific snapshot. Let's change the date of the balance sheet snapshot on the left. To change the date, I'm going to click on this button. I'm going to select Configure. And then I can specify the appropriate fiscal period and year. Let's change the fiscal period to period number 1. I'll click Save. And I can see the differences between the balance sheets for the 2 different periods graphically, as you can see here.